Plautilla Nelli is somewhat of an anomaly. She was a Florentine nun, but one who taught herself to be a professional painter. Join me in this extraordinary history of one of the most significant female painters of the Renaissance, Sister Plautilla Nelli, in this episode of Renaissance Rush. Plautilla Nelli was born in 1524 and became a nun around the age of 14. Much of the information we have about her comes from Giorgio Vasari, who famously wrote the biographies of the most well-known Renaissance artists today, such as Michelangelo, Raphael, and Leonardo da Vinci. Since artistic training was considered a male occupation, female artists are scant in Vasari's massive collection of artist lives. However, in a chapter dedicated to the sculptor Properzia de Rossi, Vasari tells us about Plautilla Nelli. He is clear that her work shows talent, but that she was limited by her access to training that her male contemporaries would have had. Vasari writes, "Best among her works are those she imitated from others, which demonstrates that she would have created marvelous works if, like men, she had been able to study and work on design and to draw natural objects from life." Vasari also proposes that she excelled more in depicting the likeness of women, as she was indeed around women more in the convent. This noted skill of hers seen here in a portrait of a nun that was done by her hand. It would not have been unusual for nuns in convents in the Renaissance to paint, especially in manuscript miniatures, and it was in this tradition that Sister Plautilla began her painting career. Only she decided to take it upon herself to learn full-scale painting without access to the typical workshop training of her male contemporaries. It is important to understand that the skill in her work is limited to what she could teach herself. Around 1560, she painted one of her masterpieces, her Last Supper, for the refectory of her own convent of Santa Caterina in Florence. This is the exact same tradition in which Leonardo da Vinci painted his Last Supper in Milan. Refectories are where monks and nuns have their meals, so in almost all cases, Last Supper scenes are found in refectories. But whereas Leonardo's is a fresco, Sister Plautilla did hers on oil and canvas, the tradition of the late 16th century. Indeed, her composition is more traditional, where Judas shares the side of the table with us, like in Andrea del Castagno's Last Supper that is found in a nearby convent in Florence that Plautilla Nelli likely would have known. Her figures share a certain rigidness, but she captures a moment of high emotion, and the technical execution of color is exceptional, which we can appreciate thanks to a recent restoration of the painting. What we see in Sister Plautilla's art is a talent that is limited by the societal constructs around her, but which were not enough to prevent her from becoming a recognized professional painter in her own lifetime. She died in 1588. Her works can now be enjoyed in the nearby convent of San Marco, and her magnificent Last Supper is proudly on display in Santa Maria Novella in Florence. I hope you enjoyed this brief treatment of Plautilla Nelli, her life, and her artwork. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe for more episodes of Renaissance Rush, and join us on the Italian Renaissance podcast for more in-depth analysis of historical themes of Renaissance Italy.